I torched the deed to my life's work right there on the bookstore floor, the flames licking up the edges like they were tasting my rage for the first time. 20 years of marriage, and my husband had been screwing my sister behind the romance section. Literally, if the security footage I'd hacked was any judge. But the real gut punch? They'd pinned their dirty little theft on me, and I'd done 5 years in county for it, smiling for the judge like the loyal fool I was. Today was my bookstore's last day. Then a stranger came in and changed everything unexpectedly. The bell above the door tinkled like a death knell as I swept the last crumbs of confetti from the going out of business party no one showed up for. Elmwood Books had been my anchor in this godforsaken corner of upstate New York, a creaky Victorian holdout on Main Street where locals nursed their lattes and pretended the world wasn't crumbling. I'd poured every dime from my inheritance into it after Mom died, turning dusty tomes into a haven for misfits like me. Now, at 42, with foreclosure knocking louder than the church bells on Sunday, it felt like burying a child. I was boxing up the final stack of hardcovers, first editions I'd never sell, when the door swung open again. Not a regular, this guy was all wrong for Elmwood. Tall, mid-40s, with a leather jacket that screamed city slicker and eyes like chipped flint under a fedora pulled low. He scanned the room like he owned it, boots thudding against the warped pine floors. Dahlia Reeves? His voice was gravel, laced with that faint Queen's accent that always made me think of mob movies. I straightened, wiping sawdust from my jeans. That's me. If you're here for the fire sale, everything's half off. Take it or leave it. He smirked, pulling a slim envelope from his inside pocket. Not shopping. Delivering. He slid it across the counter, the paper crisp against the scarred oak. I hesitated, then snatched it up. Inside, a single photo, grainy but unmistakable. Me, in an orange jumpsuit, being led into the courthouse 5 years back. On the back, scrawled in red ink, they lied. We can fix it. My stomach twisted. Who the hell are you? Name's Harlan Crow. Private eye, off the books. He leaned in, voice dropping. Your husband's been skimming from the store's accounts since 18. But it wasn't just him. Your sister, Lila, she cooked the books to cover his gambling debts. Framed you clean as a whistle. I got proof. Bank records, emails, even a wire transfer to her Cayman account. Lila, my baby sister, the golden child who'd flitted through life on charm and daddy's blind spot. We'd grown up in this town, 2 peas in a pod until she hit 16 and discovered boys, booze, and betrayal. Mom's cancer had hit hard. I dropped out of community college to nurse her, while Lila partied her way to a business degree from some online mill. When I opened the store, she begged to help. Part-time clerk, full-time leech. And Tom, my Tom, with his easy smile and architect's hands, had hired her on my say-so. Big mistake. I laughed, bitter as black coffee. Proof? I did the time, Harlan. 5 years of scrubbing toilets in Syracuse Women's, all because the jury bought their sob story. Tom's the grieving husband. Lila's the devoted sister. Me? The desperate thief, funding a nervous breakdown. My voice cracked, and I hated it. Why now? What's your angle? He shrugged, lighting a cigarette despite the no smoking sign. Classic PI move, testing boundaries. Client hired me 6 months ago. Anonymous. Said you deserved the truth before the store went under. But here's the kicker, they're not done. Tom's running for mayor next year, and Lila's his campaign manager. They're liquidating your assets to fund it. That envelope? Just the tip. The smoke curled between us, acrid and accusing. Outside, the November wind howled, rattling the windows like ghosts demanding entry. I thought of the nights I'd spent in that cell, replaying every hug, every I love you, wondering where I'd gone wrong. Tom had visited once, tears in his eyes, swearing it was all a mistake. Lila had sent cards, perfumed lies about, holding down the fort. And I believed them, because what else was there? Family. The American dream, gift wrapped in red, white, and ruin. Fine, I said, stamping out his smoke with my boot. Show me the rest. Harlan led me to the back room, where the safe squatted like a guilty secret. He cracked it with a gadget that looked like a TV remote, tech I'd only seen in movies, and pulled out a thumb drive. We huddled over my ancient laptop, the screen flickering like it knew the sins it was about to bear. Emails first. Tom to Lila, babe, Dahlia's out next month. We gotta bury this deeper. Love the way you think framing her was genius. Then bank logs. $250,000 siphoned over 2 years, funneled through fake vendors Lila had invented. Wire to the Caymans, timestamped the day before my arrest. And the kicker, a voicemail transcript from Tom. She'll take the fall. It's clean. We start fresh. My hands shook as I closed the file. They planned it. From the jump. Worse, Harlan said, voice flat. Your mom's will. That inheritance? They contested it quietly while you were inside. Lila got the house. Tom's flipping it for campaign cash. You're squatting in a motel off I-90. Rage bloomed hot in my chest, the kind that doesn't fade, it festers. I'd borne their crime like a scarlet letter, lost my freedom, my home, my name in this town. Elmwood whispered thief behind my back, crossed the street when I walked by. And for what? So they could play house in my ruins. What now? I whispered. Harlan's eyes met mine, steady. Revenge, Dahlia. The kind that sticks. We talked till midnight, the store shadows lengthening like conspirators. Harlan sketched a plan on a napkin, exposed them slow, surgical. Leaked the files to the local rag, the Elmwood Gazette, small potatoes, but it would stir the pot. Then hit Tom's campaign with anonymous tips to the state board. Lila's Cayman's account? He'd call in a favor with a buddy at Treasury. No violence, he insisted, just truth as a weapon, sharp as a shiv. But as he left, envelope in my pocket, doubt crept in. Was this justice or just spite? Tom had been my high school sweetheart, the boy who'd carved our initials into the old oak behind the library. Lila had braided my hair, shared secrets under the covers during thunderstorms. Betrayal cut deep because love had cut deeper. Still, I couldn't let them waltz into City Hall on my broken back. The next morning, I woke in the motel, threadbare quilt, TV droning Fox News about some Wall Street scandal that felt worlds away. My phone buzzed, a text from an unknown number. Saw the light on late. Harlan's legit. But watch your six, they're watching you. Attached, a photo of my car from across the street, timestamped 2 a.m. Paranoia hit like caffeine crash. I drove to the storage unit where I'd stashed the last of my life. Photo albums, Mom's recipe box, a .38 revolver from Dad's hunting days. Locked and loaded, metaphorically. First stop, the Gazette. Old man Hargrove, the editor, owed me for cat-sitting his tabby during his Vegas bender. I slid the thumb drive across his desk, coffee breath mingling with ink and regret. This true, he rasped, squinting at the screen. Truer than your ex-wife's alimony claims, I shot back. He chuckled, wheezy. Front page Monday. But Dahlia, this town's small. Mud sticks both ways. I shrugged. Let it. By noon, I'd hit the library, free Wi-Fi, anonymous VPN. Leaked a teaser to the campaign oversight forum. Elmwood's golden boy and his manager. Check the books. Views spiked, comments like vultures. Fake news. Finally, some dirt. That night, back at the store to finish packing, the bell tinkled again. Not Harlan.
Tom.
Clean-shaven in a wool coat, smelling of Old Spice and old lies. Dahlia, honey. Heard about the closure. Let me help. I froze behind the counter, box cutter in hand. His eyes flicked to it, then back, all concern.
Tom.
Auctions next week. You're late. He stepped closer, arms out like a hug was on offer. Come on. We're family. Lila and we've been worried. The stress, it got to you. But we can start over. Laughter bubbled up, sharp. Start over? Like how you started over with her. In my bed. My store. His face crumpled. Practiced, I saw now.
What?
That's crazy. The affair was a rumor, trial nonsense. I slapped the photo down, the one from the envelope. His eyes widened, genuine for a split second. Where'd you? Doesn't matter. I leaned in, voice low. I know everything, Tom. The skimming, the frame, the Caymans. He recovered fast, that politician's mask sliding on. You're unhinged, Dahlia. Been saying it since the arrest. Need help? I can get you a doctor. Rage boiled over. I grabbed a hardcover, The Great Gatsby, ironic, and hurled it at his chest. He staggered, winded. Get out. Before I call the cops on you. He straightened, eyes cold now. You'll regret this.
Door slammed.
Silence roared. I sank to the floor, tears hot. Regret? I'd been regretting for years. But this was the spark. Days blurred into a frenzy. The Gazette hit stands Monday. Local power couple's dirty secrets? Ex-wife alleges framed job. Elmwood erupted. Protests outside Tom's office. Signs like thief in mayor's clothing. Clashed with supporters chanting witch hunt. Lila called, voice syrupy. Sis, this is libel. Meet me for coffee? Clear the air? I met her at the diner on Route 17, the one with the greasy spoons and gossip thicker than the hash browns. She slid into the booth, designer scarf hiding the Botox lines, looking every inch the campaign queen. Dahlia, please. Tom's devastated. We love you. Love. I mocked, stirring my black coffee. You stole my life, Lila. My freedom. For what? His poker habit. Her eyes darted, guilty, calculating. It was a mistake. Heat of the moment. But you were always so.
Perfect.
The store, Mom's favorite.
We envied that.
Envy. I leaned forward, voice a whisper. You framed me for envy? She flushed, glancing at the waitress. Keep it down. Look, we can settle. 10 grand, quiet. You disappear. We drop the instability charges. Charges? My blood ran cold. You're threatening me? Protecting the family.
She smiled, sharp.
Sign the NDA, or the town's DA hears about your erratic behavior. That gun in storage? Illegal post-conviction. How'd she know about the .38? Harlan's warning echoed. They were watching. I stood, chair scraping. Family's dead, Lila. Bury it. Back home, motel, I texted Harlan. Compromised. Need backup.
His reply, on it.
But Dahlia, revenge has teeth. Bite back, or it bites you. That night, sleep evaded. Dreams twisted. Mom's grave, Tom's hands on Lila, my cell door slamming. Woke sweating, the envelope's photo mocking from the nightstand. Tuesday brought escalation. Tom's presser downtown. Smears from a troubled ex-Elmwood deserves better. Crowd cheered, but cracks showed. Reporters sniffing, donors pulling funds. Lila's Twitter, she still called it that, blew up. Lies from the grave. Stand with Tom. I hit back anonymous. Leaked the voicemail to a Albany blogger. Audio went viral by lunch. She'll take the fall. Tom's voice. Oily clear. Polls tanked. Calls for investigation poured in. Harlan met me at a truck stop off the thruway, his Crown Vic idling like a getaway car. Treasuries on the Cayman's trail. But they're fighting dirty. Found a tail on you, Lila's PI, ex-cop. Jesus. I gripped the dash. What's the play? Go nuclear. He handed me a burner phone. Call this number. Your anonymous client. They'll greenlight the kill shot. I dialed, heart pounding. Line crackled, then a voice, familiar, distorted. Dahlia, it's time. Lila.
No. Deeper.
Tom?
Wait.
The line went dead. Harlan cursed.
Traced.
They're onto us. Panic clawed. Back at the store, final eviction tomorrow, I barricaded the door, .38 heavy in my purse. Shadows danced. Every creak was them. Coming for the files, the drive, me. Midnight. Bell tinkled, forced. Footsteps. Dahlia? Lila's voice, trembling. Please, let's talk.
I peered through the blinds.
Her alone, rain-slicked, eyes red. Trap? Or truth? Gun in hand, I cracked the door.
What?
She rushed in, hugging me fierce. It's over. Tom's confessing. The affair, the money he broke. Said it was guilt eating him. I shoved her back, barrel up. Controversial? Hell yes, sister at gunpoint in my dying store. Liar. You orchestrated it. Tears streamed. I did.
For him.
But Dahlia, mom's cancer? I forged the diagnosis delay. To keep you home, nursing. So I could have Tom. Twist like a knife. Mom had suffered longer because of this? My fault?
No, hers.
Why?
Envy.
You got the strength, the store. I got scraps. She sank to her knees. Shoot me. End it. Finger itched. Polarizing, kill the bitch. Or forgive the monster. Sirens wailed distant. Harlan? Door burst, Tom, cops behind. Drop it. She's unhinged. Lila screamed. Chaos. I froze, gun wavering. Then the voice from the phone. Real. Stepping from shadows. Mom?
No.
Our cousin, Elias, long lost. Enough. He held a recorder, confession playing, Tom's, Lila's, all of it. The client, family secret he'd known, waited. For this.
Cops cuff them. Me?
Witness, not perp. Store saved by investor, Elias. But as they dragged Lila out, eyes locking mine, hate? Regret? I wondered. Justice? Or just another betrayal? Ending. I kept the store. But the hook? That gun stayed loaded. Trust? Dead as the deed I burned. The morning after the arrest, Elmwood woke to headlines screaming Merrill hopeful arrested in embezzlement scandal. My scandal reclaimed. Coffee shops buzzed like hives, forks pausing mid-bite as folks dissected the Gazette spread. Tom's mugshot, hangdog and hollow-eyed. Lila's, defiant with smeared mascara. I sipped my diner brew across from Harlan, the vinyl booth sticking to my thighs in the humid dawn. You did it, he said, flipping through the paper.
Clean.
No blood. I traced the scar on my palm, glass from the store's shattered window during the chaos. Clean? Try contaminated. Elias, our cousin. He vanished after Mom's funeral, joined the FBI, or some shadow op said he'd been building the case since my trial, waiting for them to double dip into politics. Harlan nodded, lighting up despite the glares. Family's a bitch. Motive?
Guilt.
He was Dad's favorite, but Mom left him nothing, disinherited for dropping out, chasing conspiracies. Watched us unravel, did nothing till now. I pushed eggs around my plate. Thinks it atones. Elmwood's pulse quickened that week. Tom's Bond hearing packed the courthouse, supporters in red, Team Tom, teas clashing with my ragtag crew, mostly ex-cons and book club widows waving justice for Dahlia posters I'd printed at Kinko's. Judge, a grizzled vet named Harlan, no relation, set bail high, citing flight risk. Lila? Denied. Her Cayman stash flagged by Treasury. Extradition loomed. I testified, voice steady under fluorescent buzz. They framed me, stole everything. For power. Jury pool gasped at the voicemail play, Tom's genius echoing like a bad country tune. His lawyer, a slick Albany shark, painted me as vengeful harpy. Ms. Reeves served time for cause. This reeks of bitterness. Bitterness? Damn right. But as I stepped down, Tom's eyes met mine. Not pleading, but appraising. Like I was the opponent now, not the wife. Post-hearing, Elias cornered me in the hall, suit crisp as his conscience wasn't. Store's yours. Wire the back payments. Consider it restitution. I eyed him, this ghost in wingtips. Why the games? The anonymous bullshit. He shrugged, accent clipped from years abroad. Direct? They'd lawyer up, bury it. Needed you raw, Dahlia. The hook to reel em in. Used me. Echo of Lila's envy confession. Avenged you. He pressed a card, FBI liaison off books. If they flip, deal for you. They did flip. Tuesday arraignment. Tom cut a plea, ratting Lila for reduced sentence. Co-conspirator, he called her, voice cracking for the cameras. She spat from the dock. Traitor? Cuffs clinked, courtroom erupted. I watched from the back. Gut churning. Polarizing, Tom the rat, Lila the fall girl? Or Justice's messy churn. Reporters swarmed. I slipped out. Harlan's Vic waiting. Next, rebuild. But my hands itched for more. The store reopened Friday, ribbon cutting with Elias footing the bill for fresh paint, new shelves. Crowds came, curious vultures. Dahlia, that true about the affair? You really pulled a gun? I smiled, hawking crime and punishment like Holy Writ. Sales boomed. Irony's bestseller. But nights? Motels swapped for the apartment above the store. Creaks whispering doubts. Dreams. Lila's plea, shoot me, gun heavy. I'd wake, check locks, scroll forums where Elmwood debated. She deserved prison. Framing's low. Nah, system's rigged. Tom's the snake. Harlan vanished post-trial, said his clients paid up. But a package arrived Saturday. Burner phone, single text. They're not done. Watch the will. Mom's will. Lila's forgery. Delaying diagnosis. I dug the original from storage, yellowed pages. Notarized clean. But annotations. Tom's handwriting? Contest if needed. And a codicil, Mom's loop, shaky from pain. To Dahlia, the store, and my shares in Tom's firm. Shares? Mom had invested in his architecture startup, pre-marriage. Forgotten in the haze. Worth? I called a lawyer, pro bono from the Innocence Project. Hundreds of K, Dahlia. If provable, you own half his company. Leverage. Sweet, controversial poison. Monday, visitor. Tom's attorney, briefcase gleaming. Settlement offer. Sign over claims. He drops countersuit for defamation. I laughed, pouring tea in the reading nook. Countersuit? For truth. He adjusted glasses. Mr. Reeves is a public figure now. Ruined.
But
Sympathetic. The town, they see you as the scorned wife. Gun-toting. Gun-toting. Leaked, no doubt. Tell Tom, shares or jail. Bluff. Half. But it landed. Evening call from County, Lila's lawyer. Client wants to talk. No record. Visitation room. Sterile gray. Plexiglass divide. Lila shuffled in, jumpsuit baggy, hair limp. Dahlia. Sis. I picked up the phone, neutral. Forgive me. Tears instant. Tom pushed. The forgery his idea. Delay Mom's care, keep you tied. I signed off. Why confess now?
beating.
Last night, cellmate heard the rumors. Called me thief bitch. She touched a bruise, purple blooming. And the baby.
Baby?
My world tilted. What?
Yours. Ours.
IVF during your treatments. Mom's eggs. Tom's sperm. You were so broken after Dad wouldn't try. We did it secret. Surrogate clause in the will. If you didn't claim, it goes to me. Twist gutted me. A child, mine frozen in some clinic? Stolen potential. You monster. Whisper. Claim it. Raise our niece. For Mom. She pressed a hand to glass. Please. I hung up, storming out.
Air hit like ice.
Baby? Lie or lifeline? Controversial. Forgive the thief for a ghost kid? Elias met me at the diner. Face grim. Checked the clinic.
True.
Embryo viable. But Lila's pushing adoption to Elias. Rage reignited. Stop her. FBI angle. Extortion. But Dahlia. Is it worth the war?
War came anyway.
Tom's presser redux. Innocent man, framed by family vendetta. Clips viral. Sympathy swell. Donors returned. Polls ticked up. I countered. Press conference at the store. Flanked by Elias, lawyer. Not vendetta, justice. And a secret. Stolen legacy. Revealed the shares, the forgery. Microphones thrust. Flashes popped. Town split harder. Protests doubled. Free Tom. Versus Dahlia's due. Online. She's grifting now? Nah. Power to the prisoner. That night, break-in. Store trashed. Files shredded. Safe cracked. Missing. The will codicil. Graffiti on the counter. Bitch burns. Harlan's text. Lila's people. Go dark. I did. Crashed at Elias's cabin upstate. 0.38 under pillow. Phone buzzed anonymous. Embryo safe. But sign the deal, or it thaws unused.
Tom.
Final play. Dawn decision. Confront. Drove back. Store a war zone. Glass crunching under tires. Inside, Lila's lawyer waited. Envelope fat. Last offer. Shares for the embryo. Quiet. I snatched it, scanning. NDA ironclad. Tom walks. Lila reduced time. Fuck quiet. Tore it, pieces snowing.
Sirens alias tip.
Feds swarmed. Lawyer sweated. Plea coercion. Too late. Raids followed. Tom's office. Lila's cell searched. Forgery docs surfaced. Mom's true timeline. Suffering prolonged. Climax brewed. Sentencing week. Packed gallery. Tension thick as fog. Tom first. 5 years. Shares forfeited. He glared. You destroyed us, Dahlia. For what? Balance, I said, audible. Lila next. 10 years, no parole. The baby yours now. Raise her right. Sobbed as they led her. I claimed the embryo. IVF scheduled. Controversial choice in Bible Belt Elmwood. Whispers. Frankenstein family. Redemption arc? But as court adjourned, twist. Elias pulled me aside. One more file. Mom's journal. Knew about the affair.
Before the theft.
Told you to leave him. Why hide? She wanted you strong. The frame? Her test. You passed. Mom? Schemer? Betrayal layered, unending. Store thrived. Dahlia's redemption reads. Bestseller on survival tales. Baby girl coming, named Willow, tough root. Yet in quiet hours, gun cleaned, I wondered. Right or wrong? Heroes or villains? Debate eternal. Harlan called once. Teeth bit back? Yeah, I said. But they grew back sharper. 9 months later, Willow's cry pierced the Elmwood hospital like a siren's call. Raw, demanding mine. I held her tiny form, swaddled in pink flannel, her fists flailing like she already knew the world's injustices. The room smelled of antiseptic and new beginnings, monitors beeping a mechanical lullaby. Elias stood sentinel by the window, his shadow long against the blinds, while the nurse cooed about APGAR scores. Perfect, Mrs. Reeves. 8 pounds even. Not Mrs. anymore. Divorce finalized pretrial, Tom's name scrubbed like a stain. But perfect? Willow's eyes, dark as Lila's, stared up accusatory. Genetic echo of betrayal. She's beautiful, Elias murmured, voice thick. He hadn't cried at Mom's funeral, but now? A tear tracked his cheek. Mom would've. Don't. I cut him off, cradling her closer. Mom's journal burned holes in my conscience. Dahlia's too trusting. Let the fire forge her. She'd known Tom's wandering eye, Lila's jealousy, even greenlit the frame as tough love, to break my complacency. Secret chiseled deeper than any crime. My own mother, puppeteer in the grave. Discharge day, paparazzi lurked like stray dogs outside. National now. Thanks to a Dateline teaser. Elmwood's betrayal, from prison to parenthood. I bundled Willow into the car seat, Harlan's old Vic loaned for the occasion, and gunned it past flashes. Home, kiddo. Books and bad decisions await. The store, Willow's Pages now, rebranded with her moniker, had become Elmwood's reluctant landmark. Sales quadrupled post-scandal. True crime pods booked signings, locals trickled back with apologetic coffees. Proud of you, Dahlia, Mayor Pro Tem Jenkins said at the chamber lunch, slapping my back too hard. Town needs fighters. Fighters. I'd become one, controversial crown and all. Protests lingered, Tom's MAGA diehards picketing weekends, fake news convict mom, countered by my squad. Truth over lies. Social media? A coliseum. Dahlia revenge trended, memes of my gun-waving stance, blurry cell cam, caption boss bitch or bitter ex. TikToks dissected the embryo ethics, stolen seed, pro-life win, or creepy control. I ignored it mostly. Focused on feedings, midnight colics, the rhythm of rebuild. But cracks spidered. First, anonymous letters, postmarked Albany. You'll pay for the baby. She's ours. Lila's hand? Prison scrawl matched her old notes. Second, Tom's appeal hearing. I testified remote, Willow gurgling on my lap, via Zoom. No new evidence, I stated, voice steel.
He confessed.
Lied to save skin. His lawyer pounced. Ms. Reeves profited, store boom, custody coup. Motive to fabricate. Judge denied, but seed sown. Polls for his early release whispered in bars. Man deserves second chance. Family values. Third, the dream. Recurring now, Lila on her knees, gun to temple, Tom's laugh echoing. I'd wake sweating, Willow's bassinet a reminder. This child, patchwork of sins, mine to protect. Harlan resurfaced in spring, diner meet amid maple syrup wars. Leaner, grayer, nursing a root beer. Clients closed the file. But heard whispers, Tom's got a book deal. Framed, my story. I snorted, fork spearing pancakes. Let him. Fiction shelf.
Non.
Ghostwriters legit. Spinning you as the villain, unstable, gun-happy, embryo thief.
Thief.
Echoed my conviction.
Soy.
Slap suit risk. Chills speech.
He leaned in.
Or preempt.
Your book.
Counter-narrative.
Tempting.
Controversial. Cash in on pain? I mulled, driving home with Willow's babble as soundtrack. Store that night. Packed reading, local author on Southern Gothic secrets. Crowd laughed at twists. I envied the tidy plots. Post-event, cleanup solo. Shelves whispered, the firm, Grisham's legal labyrinth mocking. Then the bell. Late, uninvited.
Tom.
Unshaven, jumpsuit swapped for jeans and hoodie. Bail somehow scraped. 5 minutes, he said, hands up.
No tricks.
I gripped the stapler behind the counter. Modern shiv. Clock's ticking. He paced, boots scuffing. The book's bullshit. Ghost, push the angle. Truth? I loved you, Dahlia. Still do. Lila. Weakness. The frame, panic. Lies. But his eyes, haunted, human, stirred doubt. And the baby? Voice cracked. Willow. My daughter, too. Rage flared. You forfeited. In court, in blood. He stopped close now. Let me see her.
Once.
For old times. Old times. From under stadium lights, his ring on my finger. Vows in that clabbered church. Betrayal's prelude.
No.
Stapler down. Get out. He lingered, then Elias lied. Mom's journal?
Forged.
To break us all.
What?
Heart hammered. Proof. Check the notary. Post date. He slipped a paper, scan, time-stamped after her death. I found it cleaning for the appeal. He's the schemer, Dahlia. Wanted the shares, the drama. Fed Harlan, the leaks. Twist vortex. Elias? My avenger, the villain? Door closed. I bolted upstairs. Willow stirring. Journal out. Ink analysis app on phone. Crude, but dates mismatched. Call to Elias. Voicemail.
Busy. Call back.
Dawn. Drove to his cabin, Willow in tow.
Door eier, renschekt.
Blood smear on fridge. Note, they know.
Run. Panic.
Feds. Tom's play. I scooped Willow. Fled to the throughway motel. Old haunt. Phone rang, unknown. Dahlia. It's Lila. Collect, from Syracuse. Prison call. Elias? He confessed to me last week. Visitor log. Said the journal was his, to motivate you. But Tom's right, he's dirty. Skimmed FBI funds. Used you as cover. Why tell me? Redemption.
Pause.
And the baby mom's eggs?
Lie.
Clone tissue. Experimental. Viable? Maybe. But Willow. She's lab-grown hope or hoax. World shattered. Willow. My arms full of science fiction? Test tube truth. I hung up, rocking her. Cry or coo? Irrelevant. Love didn't need DNA. Harlan's number. Emergency. Meet diner, now. He arrived, face thunder. Elias's ghost. Fled to Cayman's, your sister's old account. Mosaic clicked. Family web, all spiders. Mom's test. Elias's greed. Tom and Lila? Pawns or players? Revenge 2.0? Harlan grinned grim.
No.
I stood, Willow quiet.
Truth.
Full blast. Presser next day. Store steps, Mike's thrust. New revelations. The revenge?
A chain.
My mother, cousin, all complicit. Drop docs, journal forgery, clinic logs hacked via Harlan's guy, Elias's wire transfers. Viral inferno. Elmwood Web trended global. Podcasts, CNN panels debating. Ultimate betrayal or American dysfunction. Dahlia victim or vigilante. Tom walked. Deal for testimony on Elias. Lila paroled early. Conditions. Therapy. Restitution. She visited once. Willow on my hip. Auntie, the girl babbled. Lila teared. She's perfect. Like you. Forgiven? I asked. Not yet. But door left open. Elias? Extradited. Trial pending. His eyes in the dock. Broken, begging. Store? Thriving. Willow's Nook a bestseller hub. I wrote the book. Bound by lies. Raw. Unfiltered. Proceeds to innocence funds. Ending?
Nota idibao.
Willow toddles now. Grabbing goodnight moon. Oblivious to shadows. I watch. Gun retired, but memory loaded. Debate rages. Was revenge right? Heroes? All flawed. American as apple pie, sweet, rotten core. But in her laugh, grace. Maybe that's the twist. From ashes, unforeseen light. Or darkness eternal. You decide.